Hi friends, my name is Rafael, I'm from Lorena, Brazil, and I'm going to show you my work that I've done to Project Zero for CS50 W. The task proposed is that we implement a web page that looks like a Google search page with two functionalities, the Google Image Search and the Google Advanced Search. It was required by the course that the project should have at least 3 HTML pages. The main page, called index, for the regular search, one different page for image search, and another one for advanced search. The main page should have links to go to the other pages, and on these pages there should be links to go back to the first. All of these links should be on the upper right of the page. On the main page, we should be able to type anything and be taken to the Google search results. Let's try another search. CS50 required that, like Google's own, the search bar should be centered with rounded corners, with search buttons beneath it, and also centered. Almost the same work was made on the image search, with few differences, like one button instead of two beneath the search bar, the upper right buttons that already existed, but now one of them takes us to the main page and the other one continues taking us to the advanced search page. If the user make a query, the results now will be in images like Google Image Search does. The exercise required that on the advanced search page, find pages with all these words, these exact words or phrases, any of these words, and none of these words. The main difference here for the other pages is that now we have to deal with 4 inputs. The 4 input fields should be stacked vertically, text should be left aligned, advanced search button should be blue with white text, and when this button is clicked, the user should be taken to the search results page for all given queries. The I'm feeling lucky button must do what it does, takes to the first result directly with Google Find. The big challenge here is to code correctly this button. Both on the main page as on the image page, when we move the mouse over the two upper buttons, they get underlined, and the pointer, which is an arrow, becomes a hand. When we move the mouse over the search bar, a shadow is shown behind it and its borderline, which is gray, gets white. The mouse pointer changes from an arrow into a text selector. When we move the mouse over the buttons beneath the search bar, the pointer also becomes a hand, like it happens on top page. But in this case, the buttons gain a subtle gray border and a slight shadow behind them. On the advanced search page, when we move the mouse over the two upper buttons, they get underlined, and the pointer, which is an arrow, becomes a hand, just as it happens with the main and the image pages. I added a link anchored on the logo, which is on the upper left of the page, in order to take us to the main page. So when we move the mouse over the logo, the pointer becomes a hand. When we move the mouse over the input fields, the pointer changes itself in a text selector. If we click on one of them, it gains a side shadow and its border color turns blue. When we move the mouse over the button beneath the input fields, the pointer doesn't become a hand here. Instead, it keeps its arrow shape. In its right moment too, the button assumes darkest colors. The blues of the background and the border get stronger. All of the tones of the colors, size of the elements, quantities of blurs, shadows, and radial for the corners of the buttons and inputs, angles and directions of shadows were a work that was done with big attention. Also, the precise code of palette was captured and implemented inside the CSS code. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have liked my work.